Hello, this is Yarrow, and welcome to today's episode of the Yarrow podcast. Thanks for joining me. It's Tuesday here in Vancouver. So last night I was doing some research on YouTube faceless channels, just something I'm curious about, wanted to learn a little bit more about how people were doing it, what tools they were using. And consequently, I started to dive into a little bit of YouTube research in general. And for anyone who's ever spent any time on YouTube, in fact, probably this applies to social media as well, any kind of social media, you've heard this concept that you need to just keep going until you get that one breakthrough video or that one viral post or something like that. Now, I don't know if that's like the answer in terms of, you get that one breakthrough and you're set, but I think it's important to take that idea and apply it to your motivation, because what you're looking for is to get that one outcome that reinforces what you're doing is going to lead to that kind of outcome happening on a regular basis. The problem with not having a breakthrough is you've never had a breakthrough. You've never experienced this result from all the work you're putting in to publish videos or to publish social media posts or to, publish a podcast or write content, all the different things you do for marketing. If you never get some kind of outcome, you're always living off this, I hope it's going to work. I'm doing the strategy correctly. I've done my research. I've got all the right tactics, yet it's not working. Yet the advice from people who've had the result is always to keep going until you have that breakthrough. Now, I've experienced that myself in the sense that I was writing blog posts and I started to get traffic. I was releasing a podcast and I started to get listens. I can't say I've ever had a viral social media post, and I've had some results from my YouTube videos, but not something I would consider a breakthrough. Never been a channel I focused on a lot with any of my businesses in the past. So, but I do believe this idea of breakthroughs is a really important one to maybe, I wouldn't say like latch onto as the answer for making a business work. Like one video that does well on YouTube does not make a business work, but it shows to you that, oh, the algorithm is surfacing my content. And if I keep having more shots on goal, I'm going to get more results of a similar nature. And then it's the cumulative effect of multiple videos. They don't have to have the same level of breakthrough. One gets 100,000, another one gets 50,000, maybe another one gets 500,000. But you start to notice a increase in the results you're getting. Plus, of course, you've got the compounding of that. You've got existing videos that keep doing well. You've got people subscribing. Hopefully, you're driving some people back to a lead magnet. So you've got your email list growing. So there's all these compounding effects. So I love the idea of building something looking for a breakthrough, because that is the number one sign that you're on the right path. Of course, what defines breakthrough will be different for whatever it is you're building and whatever channel you're using. That number can be very large for some people or very average for others. If you've never had a video do 10,000 views on YouTube, getting that first 10,000 will be amazing, where people who are used to getting 100,000 would call 10,000 a failure, right? But it's your journey to get to those bigger numbers that matter, and whatever breakthrough is a breakthrough for you is the important number. And I say this too, believing that motivation is actually potentially more important than the breakthrough itself, because what kills most progress is the founder giving up. And the founder keeps going because they're searching for this feeling of that breakthrough, because it is a feeling. Ultimately, that's the reward that matters the most. And that's the feeling that gives you the energy to keep going and look for that feeling again. And we're very simple creatures. We're just driven by these emotions. And having any kind of breakthrough feels amazing. Making a sale of your product or service feels amazing. We keep chasing that feeling over and over again. I know I do. I'm sure you do as well. Now, obviously, this has to lead towards a sustainable, reliable, predictable business income. And there's obviously an entire pathway to building that outcome that takes many steps in building teams and providing systems and processes. But whether you're testing a new channel or building an entire new business, those early stages are about looking for breakthroughs. So the motivation is critical. And I will tell you, like, the number one reason a business will fail is nothing to do with the actual reality in the marketplace, more than it is the decision of the founder to give up and just move on to something else, or, maybe stop entirely if they've never had success as a business owner, which makes me sad, but it does happen. So if you're looking for a breakthrough right now, perhaps you're hearing me say this, and then you're also wondering, yeah, but how long do I keep looking for a breakthrough? I don't want to keep doing this forever with some sort of hopium as my only drug to keep me going forward, right? You need to have a realistic time frame of when that breakthrough is going to occur. And I like to tie that realistic time frame to effort as well, because you don't want to just do the average thing every day and expect something to change. There needs to be some kind of strategy that is testing new ways, improving quality. If we're talking about YouTube videos, it's obviously different hooks, different styles, thumbnails, all the tactical aspects of what makes YouTube videos work. But if you're always just doing, the same thumbnail style, the same type of video, you're not really testing new things that will lead to a breakthrough. The good thing about YouTube, you don't have to do dramatic changes. Simply having a new hook, a new subject for a story, keep changing in each video, and you've got yourself a good strategy for at least testing and getting to that breakthrough. And that pretty much can apply to most channels too, whether it's, an advertisement you're trying to run on Meta or Google, even just testing new keywords with the articles you're publishing. Even something simple as like which channel do you choose? Like you can keep pushing one channel and you're like, you know what? I've done it for 6 months. I've tried all different types of mediums on this channel. Now's the time to switch to another channel. And I like the number 6 months. I'm not going to give you a hard and fast rule, but I do think for experimenting with a new channel, depending on your resources, if you're spending $500 a month on ads, 6 months is going to be, even might not be enough because you're only spending a small amount of money, or maybe it will be enough depending on, what market you're going into, how competitive it is, what the costs are for the ads. But certainly with something like a YouTube channel, if you're publishing at least weekly, you'd hope to see some kind of breakthrough on the videos you published in 6 months. And I would say the same thing for a lot of channels. Some I would give you even longer, like a content marketing strategy around hoping to get traffic from, say, Google. I would even say 12 months. Although people are reporting for AI-based search very quick results. So, if you do things with AI-based content marketing, you could potentially get search results there within weeks, if not months, as a typical case. So, that's obviously dependent on going after the right contextual based content there and publishing it, on your website. So there's a lot of variables, but you do have to understand, are you doing the right things? Are you testing and experimenting? Are you giving a long enough time frame to an experience of breakthrough? And then let's say roughly 6 months, if nothing is changing, in fact, you're going backwards or it's crickets, zero results, then you might consider, all right, let's move this money and time to another experiment. In my company with my agency, 50 hours, 50hrs.com, we typically do 3-month experiments for something brand new, but that's when we have a certain amount of money. Minimum would be $1,000 a month, or like a $3,000 campaign to get some kind of sign of life. We're not even looking for a breakthrough. We're just looking for a number moving in the right direction. Like, oh, we're getting more clicks. Oh, we got our first sales call booked, something like that. Or if we were publishing organic content, oh, we had our first query come from ChatGPT or Gemini, or publishing YouTube videos. Oh, we got our first 1,000 view video in that 3-month period. Or someone said they, found us through that YouTube video. We look for little signs of life, not necessarily breakthroughs. But I think the breakthrough is especially important for people who are building new businesses. Okay, I hope you're having a good week. I hope you're getting towards your breakthroughs. I'm going to end it there. If you want to grab my content marketing guide that includes the AI tools I'm currently using for my content marketing strategy, head to insidegrowth.com/content. That's insidegrowth.com/content. And you can download my guide for free there. And that's for anyone who's doing content marketing. That will be useful. Okay, my name is Yarrow. I'll speak to you again probably tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.